Are you gonna be? Say that you're gonna be.
She says she wants some Marvin Gaye, some Luther Vandross, a little Anita, but definitely set this party alright.
Alright boys, this was supposed to be entirely different, not gonna lie. This was supposed to be an entire vlog, like a day in the life before I jumped into a strategy that I will be explaining later in this video that I use to make money trading. But unfortunately, all that footage is very blurry, or at least the beginning of the vlog is very blurry, and I'm literally working on it right now as we speak. Today's February 1st. I was planning on uploading it tonight, but I wanted to update y'all with what I was saying in the vlog and what has been going on within the last 2 months of my life since the last time I picked up the camera. As you guys can see in this background, it's an entirely different setup, and it's because we ended up getting an apartment like we said in this last vlog. I have also been working on a lot of other things with trading. I've been wanting to build things for the people that want to learn how to trade and things like that, but as well just running my own business, working aside from everything, and then also being on top of school as well. Just a lot on my plate, but I'm very grateful for it, and I couldn't be more blessed. But yeah, I'm in a new space now, very new chapter in my life. I feel very thankful because not only does it turn a switch on my mental, but it makes me a lot more disciplined in the things that I want to pursue and chase after. Unfortunately, that vlog is just going to get scrapped out, and this footage is just going to jump straight to the simple strategy. So I hope y'all enjoy the content that comes after this. If y'all have any comments or questions, or just anything that you want to talk about or see on this channel, like I said, drop it in the comments. I am all for it. But at least I are getting some very, very free game after this. So it's free ball knowledge, especially on how to make money online. So y'all will see a full vlog on the next one. All right, boys and girls, we are in the section of the video where I will be talking about the stupid simple strategy that I will be using to make multiple six figures this year solely off of trading. And not only that, but to consistently stay profitable. So diving right in, I just want to go ahead and start. It's a very three-step simple system that I will be using, and that I think that anybody should be using going into any trading day or when they're looking at the charts. So very first objective is to find my bias, whether the market is bullish or whether the market is bearish. Right now we are on a gold chart. The reason why we're on a gold chart is because I solely trade gold. I have traded NASDAQ, SPX, crude oil, I've traded Forex pairs, Bitcoin, all that good stuff. And I will say that this system does work on every single one of those pairs or other entities in the stock market or financial market that you are in. But me, I solely trade gold. And this is why I'm giving you an example of gold, because I haven't placed a trade this week, yesterday, which was the 27th on Tuesday, exactly to make about $1,900 profit. So let's get right into it. So like I said, the main objective is to find bias. The way I find bias is off of two time frames, my daily and my 4-hour time frame. Now jumping right in, I see on the daily time frame that it's obviously bullish. But for anybody that doesn't know what a bullish market looks like, it's basically showing highs and lows. So there's a high, a low, a high, a low, another high, and a low, and it keeps going like a ladder, signifying that the market is moving up. So with that being said, we are going to erase this real quick. So we already know that this market is bullish. Now, the only reason why I would jump down to the 4-hour time frame is if the market looked something like this and I didn't know where the market was signifying it was going to play. So if I jump down to the 4-hour and look at this section here, if I go back, it looks like it is moving up. So what does that mean? We are still in a bullish market. It's just that on the 4-hour, it looks a little more clear, and that's why I use the daily and 4-hour time frames. Oop, sorry. Anyways, And that's why I use the daily and 4-hour time frame. So going from the beginning, we know that the daily time frame is bullish. All right. Now, the second piece is finding my points of interest. With that being said, I use the 30 and 15-minute time frame to find my points of interest. If you didn't know, my basis around trading surrounds or circles around demand and supply zones. Now, not only do I use demand and supply zones, but I also very much so use technical analysis and market structure. Basically, the most simplest things you can learn when trading. So, market structure and technical analysis. So, like I said, we know that the market is bullish. This here was the previous session that was Monday. I placed this trade on Tuesday morning. That's when I got into the market. That's is what I saw when I first stepped in. This is around 8 p.m. or 7:30. This is 7 my time. I didn't get in until 7:30 my time. It says 8 right here at the bottom only because this is time to New York. If you didn't know, typically it's best to time yourself off of New York so you're right with the market. So we are an hour behind of New York, so it was 7:30 my time when I was looking at the charts. So going back to the session before, which was the last New York session, I can see that it was basically looking like barcodes and the market was moving sideways until eventually there was a dump off here on Monday afternoon. That signifies a retrace. Now that I know that it's retraced and came back to pick up some liquidity in this area, I know, and what I want to look for is somewhere I can buy off of after that retrace is done. How do I know that retrace is done? Because if I go on the 30-minute time frame and mark the most recent high before or where price is currently, I see that that high has been taken out and is creating higher lows and higher highs. That's how I know that we're back into a bullish market rather than just a retrace. So signifying and identifying this high that has been broken, I look for a demand zone near that area of interest, which is right here. Now, perfect. We found our point of interest. Now we can go down to the 15-minute time frame if you'd like to get it a little clear, a more clear shot. But typically, I like to stay away from the lower time frames once it gets to the 15-minute and 5-minute, only because it gets a little confusing for beginners. And if you're not very experienced at looking how the market looks like, I recommend on staying on the higher time frame because there's a lot less noise. So now that we know what the market is looking like, we know where to buy, and we know where our area of interest is, we want to figure out when we will be getting in. Well, this was 7:30 my time. So market has yet to open because market opens at 9:30 New York time, which is 8:30 our time. If you're in Texas, if not, you would relate to whatever time zone you are in. So now we go to the 5-minute. We wait for price to come down to our demand zone and show us that we're ready to move up and forward. So we let price play out. Boom, we get one touch of the demand zone. First touch for me is never enough for me to get into the trade. I need at least 2 touches before I know that we want to get into this trade and move on forward with where we're going, or where we have a very big bias on where the market should go. So first touch, we're waiting on the second touch to come in. Boom. Everybody would honestly think that this push up was a big push, and people that aren't very experienced might have think that they're already missing out on the trade. No, sit on your hands until you know solid and valid that this is a trade that's going to be placed out, because as much as this dump and touch can get pushed up, you can get falsed out and this low can still get taken out. So don't get in too early, just wait for your confirmation. So we wait for that second touch. Boom, we got a second touch. Now we are ready to get in. So you can either get in off of the second touch in the second bullish or the first bullish after that second touch, or you can wait to get in a little closer to the demand zone after that second touch, which is typically what I like to do. So I get on the 5-minute what I would like to do is basically there's this resistance that's getting created. I want to basically get back in whenever that resistance is getting taken out. I'm going to mark it as a drawing line before. I think I dropped down to the 1 minute, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to stay on the 5. I think I placed a limit order after this dumpage was placed. So once, I think if I'm not mistaken, I can't really place limit orders on this demo or like this replay, because it's basically like a demo of what you would play out. You get in and you wait for that to come up. I didn't get in there. For the sake of this video, I'm gonna get exactly where I was at on the 1 minute really quickly, just so we can, for the sake of this video, get exactly where I was at. Boom. So at that point, I got in on this line because I set a limit order. For the sake of this video, I'm doing it for the 1 minute because I can't place a limit order on a replay mode. So we got into that buy and we got in, and now we are up. So my next target would be going back to the 15 minute or 30 minute and looking for a high that should be taken out, because we are going to be bullish, and eventually within our bias, knowing very well through our technical analysis that we're already on a bullish market and it's already taken out one high, and we've already liquidated this area because of the demand zone, that we should keep on moving forward from our place of entry to this next high, because this is signifying a weak high, because these lows are stacking up against to make a bullish market. So if we play price forward, if we lay our TP up here, which is 1700, we should be able to take out this high, and boom, with no drawdown or any sort of negative, drawdown or anything like that, we hit our take profit within within an hour, or maybe even an hour 30. Within an hour and 30, we hit our take profit and we are done for the day. That is the simple system that I use to place trades every day I come into the market. I use 2 time frames for my bias to let me know if we are buying or selling. I have 2 time frames to let me know where my point of interest will be. And then I have 1 time frame, maybe even 2 sometimes if I'm feeling a little, wanting to be pinpoint with the 5 and 1 minute. I typically have the 5 minute solely so I don't really get faked out. But if you would like, and you're a little more experienced, you can definitely use the 1 minute. But you use those time frames for entry and exits. And that is about it. That is the simple system that I will be using this year to make multiple figures. And I think that that is the system that anybody should be using to make multiple figures, aside from their 9 to 5s, aside from school or anything else that you're wanting to pursue, because it's so stupid simple to make money with this system. Now, if any of this felt any way confusing, or you're still a little kind of blurred into what I said and talked about in this system step by step, I have a link down below for you to work with me one-on-one. We hop on calls. We'll make sure that we set you up right with the right chart analysis and everything in that sense, and we can get you on the road and pathway to your first payout at the beginning or start, or even if you've already started your trading journey, but we will get you on the right track to be consistently profitable and receive consistent payouts. So there's a link down below for you to work with me, and we can work one-on-one to get you and achieve the mission that you have set for yourself to accomplish, and I am here to help. Like I said, this is a stupid simple strategy that I think anybody should be using, and to be honest with you, I will be using for as long as I live, to be honest, because they couldn't get any easier. But that is the portion of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, go ahead and click that link if you're interested, man. If you're not, then take this video with value and use it to your own, use it for your own will, whether you're going to use it or not, or any of my concepts. Go ahead and take it. They're free to use, and if you are very much so interested, go ahead and click that link in the bio.